ladies and gentlemen.
Available on all platforms and YouTube.
He's the Apex podcaster. He's the wise owl of professional wrestling.
He smells better than Dude Love with Sex Panther on.
He's the king of fantasy booking.
He is your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast.
He is Omega Luke, and you're listening to the Omega Luke Wrestling Podcast.
What's going on, guys? My name is Omega Luke, and as you can see, I am being joined by the Rock Cry Guy Nev. Nev, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I am very good. Today, we are going to be giving you our top 10 choices for potential surprise entrants in the 2019 Royal Rumble. In the past, huge surprises have given us some of the best pops in wrestling history. So before we begin with our top 10, Nev, why don't you tell me what your favourite ever surprise at a Royal Rumble entrant was?
Okay, well, as you know, we've had some unbelievable surprise entrants into the Royal Rumble. But I think my favourite has to be in 2013. It was Chris Jericho. Not too long ago before that, I actually got to meet Chris Jericho at a Fozzy concert. And then the fact that not long after he turned up at the Rumble, absolutely lost my mind. It was quality.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you?
That's a good call, by the way. Mine would have to be probably the 2010 Royal Rumble. A great Rumble, as it was anyway, but when Edge surprised us all, returning from injury to go on and win the Rumble from number 29. An incredible moment for that Hall of Famer, huge pop, and definitely something that I feel was a massive deal in a Royal Rumble match. So I like that, which is probably why we're doing this list. So, without further ado, Nev, let's start this list.
Number 10, Kenny Omega. The hottest free agent in the world, Omega has been the talking point of the wrestling world in recent years with all of his incredible matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But after losing the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom, he said he's taking a break and will not be returning to Japan. This leaves his career in the balance. It's no secret he's expressed his desire to work with AJ Styles and other stars in the WWE roster. He's been offered outstanding contracts, but then there's the AEW, an exciting new adventure with his best friends all over there. It really is difficult to decide where he's going to be going. I'd be happy either way, but I think it's more likely he will be signing with AEW, and our Rumble dreams may be dashed. But as they say in the business, never say never.
Number 9, Kishida. To New Japan fans, Kishida is considered one of, if not the best, junior heavyweight wrestler in the world. He accomplished it all in New Japan and announced that he was leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling at the end of his contract. He never announced where he was going, but the WWE would be an obvious first choice. The guy is a big name, but could still be put in NXT or 205 Live. However, I for one would love to see him enter the Rumble this year, just like AJ did in 2016 to a huge applause. It is very unlikely, with Kishida's contract details still up in the air, about when his last day in New Japan Pro Wrestling is, but it would be a lovely shock surprise to see the time splitter on Sunday.
Number 8, Kevin Owens. KO has been off of our screen since October 2018 with knee injuries. Now I think 3 months is far too long for this megastar, and what better way to return than at this year's Royal Rumble. No matter the scenario or who he's working with, Chris Jericho or Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens just seems to make it work, and I think it would be incredible to see the reaction he would get. I'd let him have a great Rumble, get down to the Final Four, but one thing is for sure, is that this newly revamped Kevin Owens, who is looking fit and healthy, I'm sure we're going to be getting great things should he return this year.
Number 7, Molina. November 2011 was the last time we seen the former Divas champion and one of the best offensive women in the Ruthless Aggression era. A lot of fans were bitterly disappointed in the lack of Molina in last year's Rumble and Evolution, considering how big of a role she played in the women's wrestling for so long. And fans made that very clear, and we know lately WWE have been listening to the fans. So yes, it's a long shot, but we could potentially see the former Women's Champion appear as one of the guest surprises in this year's Women's Rumble. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Number 6, Batista. The Animal is due a big comeback, and if done correctly, could be a huge success. Now, his last run wasn't the best, but that wasn't his fault. It was due to the popularity of Daniel Bryan at the time, and quite frankly, the timing wasn't right. Now, this Avengers star can finally have a well-received return, and a big pop if it's done right. I would hope for maybe a number 27 spot, something like that, and maybe we could set up Batista's final run with the company and end his desired feud of wanting to face Triple H, who has apparently been cleared to wrestle after his shoulder tear at Crown Jewel. He made a brief appearance at SmackDown 1000, which was entertaining and set up some form of tension with Triple H. This could make for a very exciting WrestleMania match should he make an appearance at the Royal Rumble.
Number 5, Velveteen Dream. Call me up, Vince. Velveteen Dream has done nothing but impress in the last 2 years. From his unique character to insane ring ability to the story that he tells in the ring during hot feuds. But the night before the Rumble at TakeOver, for the first time since 2017, there is no Velveteen Dream on the card. Now, I don't think that this is going to be a call-up to the main roster, at least I certainly hope not. I do think, like Adam Cole and Andrade Cien Almas last year, we will see NXT superstars who are ridiculously over make surprise appearances. So what better person to do so than the Velveteen Dream himself?
Number 4, Becky Lynch. Now, Becky could be an incredible surprise entrance into the Women's Rumble this year, as she's not booked on it due to her title match with Asuka. I think it would work perfectly if Becky was to lose that match due to some sort of interference from Ronda Rousey. Then, the man herself puts herself in place of someone else in the Rumble, winning the whole thing, eliminating Charlotte Flair and calling out Ronda for her title at WrestleMania 35. Now, can it get any more exciting than that? Imagine looking at the Titantron and seeing an injured SmackDown female superstar and Becky steps over her through the curtain and the music plays. Wouldn't that just be incredible?
Number 3, Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight has become one of the hottest talent around these days. The longest reigning champion in the modern era has tore it up on both NXT and NXT UK lately, and he is over like Rover. The fans would no doubt make a huge pop to see Dunne come out in the Rumble and have a nice little run in there with, just like Adam Cole Bebe did last year. Not a call up though, because he obviously has that huge bastard of a man, Big Daddy Volta, to deal with in the NXT UK, but a nice little surprise for the fans no doubt would just build a lovely moment that would warm all of our bellies.
Number 2, Bray Wyatt. The Eater of Worlds, the same as Kevin Owens, hasn't been on our screens in a good while. His last run was the whole feud with Matt Hardy, and Bray was woken and they won the Raw Tag titles. And now it feels as though Bray hasn't had the greatest of opportunities, even when he's held the WWE title. A huge Rumble would be incredible for him. Letting him get the most eliminations on the night would be superb. A bit like Kane in the Royal Rumble 2001, just a dominant presence. Bray needs that fear factor back, and what better way than eliminating people left, right and centre at this year's Rumble. Imagine it, the lights go out and the fireflies emerge as we hear his voice. It would be just outstanding, and after this he could have a massive run.
And number 1, The Undertaker. If you thought that Undertaker's loss at WrestleMania 33 to Roman Reigns was the dead man's retirement match, you were wrong. However, I really don't think we will see The Undertaker wrestle much after WrestleMania 35, if at all, which means this could be the last opportunity for him to ever enter a Royal Rumble. And with more and more rumours of the Phenom being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, I think that it's very likely that WWE will give him this moment in this year's Royal Rumble to show his face one last time in the world's most famous Battle Royale. Just imagine the pop he would raise when the gong hits after the countdown from 10. Absolute chills. So that was our top 10 list of potential surprise entrants, realistic surprise entrants for the 2019 Royal Rumble. Let me know down in the comments who you think may realistically show us a shock surprise this year. Nev, thank you very much, buddy, for coming on for this video.
Cheers, brother. Really enjoyed it. Look forward to the next one.
Definitely. And how can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Nevs with a Z 8.
And you can also find me on Twitter at Omega_Luke. Make sure you like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. Keep your friends close, but keep Omega Luke closer. And until next time, goodbye, everybody, and good night. Bang.